Terry, hi, Jim Delapine here. I'm going to give you some video help with this as promised. So first of all, this file is taking an awful long time to open because it is tremendous in size. You'll see the document size down here, 436 megs, and it's actually more than a gig. So if I go to image size, you'll note that this file is more than 3 feet wide by almost 4 feet high by 300 pixels per inch. So what you need to do is this to correct this. This is this size because you did not bring the images into an 8 by 10 by 300. This is probably the size of that was set up in your digital camera. Okay, so anyway, here's what you do. So you're going to go to the crop tool, and you're going to make sure that width times height times resolution is selected here. You're going to type in 8IN, tab over to, let me just do this here. Clear this. So 8IN, tab, and then type 10 space IN, hit tab, and then type in 300 for your resolution. And then you'll automatically get a bounding box. And then in this case, you have the correct physical dimensions, 8 by 10 by 300. But once you click on this check mark right here, this will crop this image. All right, it'll take a while to process because it's so large, and I have a rocket ship of a computer, but it still takes a while because of all the layers and all the very large files. So give this a moment, and then what I'm going to do is show you how to save you a lot of energy, because some of your images you deleted the background pixels, which you cannot do. You want to retain those pixels for editing purposes, just in case, as a backup. So that's the entire purpose of a layer mask. So I'm just going to show you kind of a trick on how to save yourself all that energy. All you need to do is bring in those original files, line them up as I told you in my comments, and then make sure they're lined up good, and then I'll show you how you can fix that. So let me just wait till this crops out. You know, just going to cancel this. But that's how to do it. You just have to wait. Okay, so here's what to do. I created a little dummy file here for this guitar here, the acoustic guitar. All right, so let's make believe that this is your background and you want to mask it out. So what you're going to do is you keep both layers there. You're going to Control or Command click on the image thumbnail, and that will create a selection. Then what you're going to do is go to Select, Save Selection, and you can type in guitar because you'll have a few of them, and I'll hit OK. All right, so this is kind of a tangent where I can show you how to take advantage of channels. All right, because a lot of students are not familiar with channels and what they could be used for. All right, so in this case, it's going to be used to save your butt. Okay, so if you click on channels, you'll note that I have guitar here. All right, so it shows up in black and white. It's basically a storage area for saving selections for use at a future date. So let's just say now, okay, so let me deselect that. So you have that channel saved as a selection. You're going to bring in the new image, which is this one. Okay, you're going to go to your channels, load that selection by Control or Command clicking on the thumbnail to the guitar channel. Okay, so you have that saved as a selection now. Going to go over to the layers panel, select your new layer that you brought in that includes the background, and then you're going to simply click on the layer mask option. Okay, you'll have your layer mask all set up, and you'll have your guitar, and there you go. Okay, so that's a way to avoid the effort, because I know that you went through a lot of effort to cut these out because they're cut out beautifully. If I go to my background layer and select that and fill that with black, I can see that there's no stray pixels and not even any kind of halo around any of these elements. So it's just terrific. So let me undo that. All right, so that should solve both of those problems, and make sure it's Rockin' Rhapsody Roy. Okay, you have Ron here, and make sure that your background for next week does not interfere. Keep it simple. All right, you don't want it to detract or distract the viewer's eye from all the wonderfulness of Roy. All right, All right, so I hope that helped. And let's see, anything else before I go? Yeah, that's about it. You will be working, well, since I'm here, we talk about adjustment layers. All right, so if I select, let me see here. So you have your acoustic guitar here, right? And this is the original one, so let me just get rid of that. All right, so this is the acoustic guitar, and actually this is the one that really needs some work. All right, um, so again, you need to apply this layer mask technique to all of the images in here that do not have layer masks. So what you're going to do is create an adjustment layer for this that is a clipping mask. And you select that layer, you go down here to the clipping mask icon, I'm sorry, the adjustment layer icon, and let's select levels because that will be the most um, useful one for this. All right, so what you immediately need to do is Alt or Option click in between these layers to make this a clipping mask. Now it attaches to the bass guitar layer and it will affect only that layer. So if I go up here to my properties window and do that, see how it affects that? If this was not clipped, I'm going to Alt click again here, then it will affect all of the underlying layers. Okay, so that's the beauty of a clipping mask. So now what you're going to do is bring the lighter pixels into this by dragging the highlight slider. These sliders here react directly to this grayscale here. So this is your highlights, this is your midtones, and this is your shadows. The higher this mountain, this is called the histogram. The higher the mountain, the more pixels of the corresponding value to the grayscale area below. Okay, so this is telling me that there's very few lighter pixels in here, so I'll drag this over to the beginning of the mountain, and that looks pretty good. Okay, if you hide and show that layer, you can see the before and after. Okay, another interesting technique is to do this. Although I want you to use this layer mask option, it gives you more options, it gives you more flexibility. But for example, let's select this layer right here. Okay, you can bypass that adjustment layer. Uh, it really should not be used, but I just want to show you the option here. So you're going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Shadows Highlights. Okay, and as long as the preview button is selected, and let me zoom into this. Whoops, let me just cancel out of that. Let me zoom in. All right, and so Image, Adjustments, and Shadows Highlights. All right, it will automatically come up and give you a preview. And this is actually, the default settings for here is pretty accurate, but you can go in here and adjust this accordingly if you want. You can fine tune this, but it does a really good job of creating a good contrast in an image. All right, so it picks up a lot of details that are in essence lost. So this will improve the quality of each one of these, but I suggest that you go in there using the layer mask option for, using the adjustment layer option for each individual layer. Okay? All right, hope that helped. Bye.